Right. Hello, everyone. I just came out of the center after giving the Slot-3 CAT 225. The paper I felt was slightly on the difficult side compared to last year. Primarily, the LRDI section was something that stumped me quite a bit. There were roughly two sets which were doable. One was on arrangement, another was a DI set of sorts, a chart that was provided. These two sets I felt were doable. However, the remaining ones were quite challenging or time intensive, I would say. So, when it comes to LRDI section, I think that was one of the I would say sections of the three sections, the one that I found to be most cumbersome. The QA was doable. There were a set of sitters. There were a set of moderate difficulty questions, which were a bit time intensive. So when it comes to difficulty, I would say the questions were quite time intensive. A few questions which we obviously had to avoid because they were just traps. That's it. So QA, I would say, was moderate, perhaps similar to what the other set in the previous slots as well. The verbal part I felt was on the easy moderate side, mainly because the option elimination part, if you had sort of internal reasoning engine, you should have been able to get done with the most of the RCs there. So there was one RC which was on AI and morality, which was sort of easy to do. The options were lengthier, like many people said in the previous slots. The second RC, I believe, was on tribal imagination, which was a bit tedious to read, but the options were again very easy to eliminate. So you could have got through the RC if you had some rough understanding of what the discussion was about. The third RC, I believe, was on Forest Act, the Indian Forest Act, and it was purely a detail-based RC. So that is something that everyone must have done. The final RC, I think, was on dams. So creation or the building of dams, and that was also one of the easier RCs. So three of the RCs I felt were doable. One slightly on the tedious side, but the questions were easier. The VA part again was a bit difficult. I felt that the parajumbles especially were a bit tricky, and also the way in which it was written was a bit obtuse. So for me, I felt the VA was a bit on the difficult side. The RCs were definitely doable. Overall, I would say it was on the moderate side. The verbal section was on the moderate side. The LRDI I felt was slightly on the difficult side compared to last year, and the QA again a section that was doable. I would say a good number of attempts would be close to 13 or 14 or 15. That would be the range. Again, I might be going out on a limb and saying that, but still, overall, the paper was slightly difficult than last year, is what I would say, compared to slot 3 2024. Slot 3 2025 was a bit difficult, a tad bit difficult. So, yeah, that's it from my end. We'll come up with a more detailed analysis subsequently once we are done collating all information from different sources. So stay tuned for that.